Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the world of Arendar, where we had last left off. The party had finally broken out of prison after choosing the age-old tradition of being a fucking murder hobo. And today we bring to our very special once-a-year one-shot, Halloween themed. This is actually, I believe, the most amount of players I've had for this one-shot in forever. We have Ariel returning to play Alana, and we have Oki here to play her Warlock Coraline. To set the stage a little bit, there is a tradition in certain cities of Arendar that every All Hallows Eve there is a Day of the Dead parade, if you will, where people dress up in masks and have a small parade and a good time. But there's a secret event known as the Burning of the Gnome. And this harkens back to ancient times where gnomes, constantly tricksters and getting into trouble, would wreak havoc across the land. Truly the most insidious monsters of all. And so this small little parade has taken it upon themselves to burn a gnome in effigy every year. And for our players who are currently playing their mercenaries, you guys have found yourself caught up in the festivities, a day of drinking and celebration and participation around the town has led to this rumor of the grand arrival of the Burning of the Gnome Festival. And that is where we are going to start. We find ourselves on a dark and drizzly street in a sub-corner of one of the cities. And you guys have been hearing this rumor of burning the gnome. And you decide that it might be fun to attend to the festivities as best as you are able. You guys are gathered around this water fountain. People in masks wandering by. When you spot a familiar figure, and one Kinku cleric is waddling his way over the wet and rainy cobblestone streets. When he trips, as he is often wants to do, because webbed feet and all that, and he trips and falls face first into a pumpkin.
You stupid fucking pigeon! Next time, no! If you want information, ask like a civilized person. You know what tonight is, right? That's right. It's All Hallows Eve. Everyone dresses up and scares away the monsters. Grab a mask from Lady Ghost and enjoy the parade. Apparently, there's a big event to finish off the night. You don't want to miss the finale. What's the finale, you ask? I can't give away too many secrets. Just know that it will be to die for. Get it? Last thing. To participate in the finale, you'll need to find 3 keys. You must choose one person to be your key bearer. Good luck!
And this jack-o'-lantern just kind of cackles as Gregorius climbs out from the pile that he's made of himself. And he looks around and goes,
"Fuck off!"
What would everybody like to do? Speaking of drunk, Biddy, you have been looking for alcohol for the better part of 6 hours, and every time you've managed to find a small little like tucked away bar, it is surrounded by ogres and those dressed as ogres and orcs and half giants, and you have not been able to fight your way to the bar, and this is the most sober you have ever been in your entire fucking life. Yeah, go ahead. Um, okay. You are sober. You are stone cold sober. You are about to lick rainwater off the pavement. You're so desperate for a drink. And you stumble your way over, bleary eyed, not due to any sort of alcohol, but because you're straight miserable with the fact that you're still alive. And you stumble your way over and find yourself in front of um a very large fountain, kind of in the middle of the town square, where a lady ghost is floating above the water. She looks at you and goes, "I'm simply here to sell masks for the parade. But what are you willing to do for a drink?" Hmm. So, if I said to go stick a pumpkin on the head of, hmm, and she points unsuspectingly to Brioche, would that suffice in trade for alcohol? Brioche, make a perception check for me. Biddy, make a stealth check. Nice. You grab this pumpkin. It's about as big as you. And for everybody else, all you see is you're not quite sure if it's maybe a kid in a costume, but you see this short, stubby little pair of legs, followed by a floating pumpkin, followed by two rabbit ears sticking out from over the top of it. And fine, ears laying on the top of said pumpkin. But I don't know. If you're running, they're catching a little bit of wind, so you see them kind of like bobbing up and down. And then with a great gargantuan leap, this heron gone jumps about 10 feet up in the air. And Brioche, you've been smelling this scent, overwhelming scent of pumpkin, and it reminds you of Nana's pumpkin bread, and like you're in your little happy place. And the next thing you know, the lights go out as this great pumpkin craters onto your skull. You're a tart. Biddy, because of your antics, the ghost merchant now has beer for sale. And while you're there, she does offer you a mask. Um, the masks for sale are a gold piece. And she tells you that they are enchanted when it comes to making conversation. You shall find it easier to converse with the regular party day goers if you are also in costume. Can the pumpkin be your mask? Ashira, I will allow that. I will allow that because that's fucking funny. Let me grab you a mask and I will add an All Hallows Eve mask into your inventory. And yeah, that's going to happen occasionally. Um, actually, let yes, because you have both characters in the world, and Ashira is your primary. So Um, does anyone see this poor little Harangon just wailing, weeping and gnashing of teeth? Actually, Biddy, Biddy, make a performance check. Make a pitiful, woe is me. Surely a kind-hearted soul will take pity upon me. Make a performance check. 23. Yeah, with a 23, everybody hears you. You're stirring the hearts of your fellow mercenaries. Is anybody willing to buy Biddy a beer? Alana, you see this, and a lightning bolt flashes in your mind, and you remember once upon a time swearing an oath to provide alcohol to one tiny rabbit for basically the rest of forever. And you are so moved by this display of truly the arts that you offer to buy the entire stock. But yes, everybody will need a mask. Biddy will need a mask and some booze. Give me just one moment while I add in. You have 5 beers in your inventory. You just drank the 6th. Actually, hang on. Please use the beer in your inventory, I should clarify. Give me one moment. Biddy, what does the beer taste like? As she's drinking, Alana, her ear slowly, like old timey cartoons where something ratchets upright. Her ears, the more that she drinks, are like gaining notches as they tilt slowly upright until at their peak form, one flops over. Everybody else, what are you guys all doing? Make a perception check for me. Varlori, you look around and you kind of realize that there's not really merchants per se. This is very much a celebration of sorts. The only merchant is the ghost merchant. Um, and she is specifically selling parade day masks. She doesn't really happen to have a lot of inventory, though somehow miraculously she managed to find beer. Um, but you guys start to hear chatter. And one of the things that you hear kind of whispered amongst the comings and goings of this parade of people is they are talking about this finale that is supposed to be happening somewhere within the city. And you guys have been meandering along with this parade for probably about an hour now. And you've come to this kind of city circle, and people are talking about the very secretive burning of the gnome festivities, which is based upon historical events and is where they burn a gnome in effigy. Um, but yeah, you guys are starting to hear more and more chatter about places that the event could possibly be held. Um, about this time, Gregorius, having just cleaned the pumpkin off of his beak, walks by Slavo and immediately gets poisoned and runs off retching violently. And he goes in the direction of a party goer. And he hears something that says, "I've heard that there's a finale tonight. I wonder if I can find one of the keys." Moy cleans pumpkin off of his beard. He turns around and goes,
What?
as Slavo follows Gregorius around, and he continues puking up all over the floor. Because whenever she gets within literal spitting distance, or he gets within spitting distance of Gregorius, this overwhelming stench. In fact, Celine, Castor, Coraline, it's so bad that Slavo just kind of being in your general vicinity, the wind carries that stench kind of down in the direction of the ghost merchant, and you see her visage turn green, which you didn't even know was possible for somebody who's technically dead. But it is kind of overwhelming, and you guys are bearing the brunt of it. Castor, Coraline, make a perception check for me if you would. Natural fucking 20 out of Coraline. Fucking excellent job. Both Castor and Coraline, you spot it. Coraline, you spot it first. Off behind one of the houses in a little alcove, you guys spy what appears to be a chest, and having heard all of the rumors of hidden keys and a secret event that only those who can find the keys are allowed to participate in, you both spot it. Coraline, you spot it a little bit before Castor does, so you managed to get a bit of a head start in the direction of the chest, which is over here. I gotta take. Yep, it is over on the top right. I do have to take a shot because of a natural 20 rolled by Oki. Hey, everybody gets one. But yeah, you both spot it and you both head in that general direction at roughly the same-ish time. So if I could have both of you move over there. I need both of you to make perception checks once again as you approach this chest. A natural fucking 20 from Coraline. Castor, you see this chest, and immediately you go, "Oh my god, I have found one of the keys," and you turbo rush forward. Coraline, you see this for what it is, and you reach out to grab this dwarf. Unfortunately, you miss, and Castor, you attempts to open the chest. And as you reach for the chest, all of a sudden, these little teeth pop out, and it gives you the clack, 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 gnawing at you. Casper, you already rolled initiative. Perfect. Coraline, I need you to roll initiative for me. Candy corn teeth. Candy corn can die in hellfire as the worst fucking candy to ever exist. I'll die on that hill. Thank you. Thank you, Oki. Okay. So, for Coraline, Caster, and a Mimic, they are in combat. What is everybody else doing? Well, these two duke it out with a with a chest. You do fail your acrobatics. You are grappled, Caster. You go to reach for this chest. And then all of a sudden, this long tongue just snakes around your waist and pulls you halfway into the chest. And Coraline, you see these two little dwarvish feet kicking the air violently as he screams from the inside of this chest that he has been bamboozled. And then. Yes, Caster is canonically 5. That does bring us to Caster, in fact. Caster, you are currently grappled. I mean, you'd have to break free from the grapple first in order to attempt it, so it will require an athletics check. Yes, athletics. Yeah, you successfully break free from the grapple. So you are no longer grappled. You are still technically inside of the mimic, but you are you are now holding on to this tongue. Okay. Okay. Make a a unarmed attack. Nice. You punch this mimic so hard in the uvula that it violently hurls you back about 15 feet. But you are still gripped onto this tongue. You're like straddling it. And so, Coraline, you see this dwarf get sucked in, and then the next second get slungshot out right past your face as he is gripping onto this tongue. Bonus action, rage, spicy dwarf. Perfect. Coraline, that brings us to you. You have a 5-year-old bearded dwarf screaming bloody murder as his tiny little fist thunder punch this mimic tongue. What would you like to do? Uh, you mean spell slots? Hang on, let me see if you have actual spell slots. Yeah, no, so if you look where it says Pact Magic, 5th level, you see how it says 2 of 2? So go to your spell book real fast. It'll say innate spellcasting, followed by cantrip, followed by Pact Magic. Pact Magic, you have 2 spell slots. Eldritch Blast is a cantrip, though, and it doesn't cost a spell slot. So you just hover over what you want to attack, you tap T to target, and Eldritch Blast you can cast as many times as you want because it doesn't cost a spell slot, it just costs an action. You have 1 action, yes. So you just click Eldritch Blast. Yeah. Maybe you just click right next to, so in your spell, use a MIDI use. You hit with your first one. It's asking you if you can move it. Do you want to move the mimic? Okay. And you hit with your second. Yeah. You hit the mimic twice. Oh, you're all good. Give me 1 second. I think you accidentally hit the mimic. Play and hide the mimic. You're all good. Let me untoggle the active state. There you go. Yep, you can choose to move if you want to, either forward or back. Next to the child thing. Perfect. While that is going on, everybody else, what are you all doing? You're hearing this rumor. You see Castor and Coraline sprint off in the direction of an alleyway. What is everybody else choosing to do? Okay. Um. Okay. You can go ahead, like I said, and buy a beer from the ghost merchant. Sounds good. Yeah, go ahead and buy a beer from the ghost merchant, and then make your way south if you would like to do so. Everybody else, are you also buying yourself a drink and a mask? Are you wandering around? Is there anything in particular that you would like to do? you you guys see Brioche stick a hand up inside the mask, and on like the tip of their fucking finger is a small little like, I know she doesn't exactly have one, but is a little like fire spell. I'm basically gonna give her a free control flames, and she's cooking the inside of this pumpkin. Slabo, who are you torturing today with your stench? Gregorius sees you coming and just keeps taking off in a dead fucking sprint in the general direction of anywhere far away from you. Do you choose to follow him? Well, the closest person to you next to Gregorius would be Celine. Give me 1 second. For whatever reason, the the it's treating the ghost merchant as if she is a lock. So I'm gonna move her a little bit fucking closer. There we go. I don't know why it's treating her as a lock. Yeah. Brioche, the wonderful smell of your pumpkin is now unfortunately a prison for your nostrils as a slobbo invades your personal space, and it now smells like a sewer. And Asthera straight up passes out. She gone. Less resources for me to calculate. This is a really smart plan in Brioche's mind, except for one distinct problem. Along with now losing access to your sight, the nose hole that you had carved for yourself is now also in the back. And so all that you now are doing is asphyxiating yourself with the stench of slobbo, unable to get access to fresh air. I need you to make a constitution saving throw to not pass out. I You managed to stay conscious long enough to kind of wobble yourself away. Celine, Alana, what are the two of you doing? You see this half naked, shit stained colored goblin go streaking across the cobblestone, followed by the stench of putrefaction itself. Are are either of you two doing anything? You you see Gregorius losing his lunch in a slightly ajar coffin that is currently sitting in someone's lawn. And you realize that he too has been crop dusted by the fucking shit stained goblin that has now tormented most of the parade. He is like heaving into his plague doctor mask, both like wing arms like steadying on this, and you just hear this violent retching. And from the inside of this coffin, you hear, "Are you fucking kidding me?" You go over to investigate. Sounds as you make your way over to Gregorius, you hear something from inside this coffin, but peering through the crack in the lid, you don't see anything. There's this kind of this otherworldly soft purple glow that's like leaking out from the corners. Do you knock on the coffin lid? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and double click the top of the coffin. You hear this voice.
Who dares disturb my rest? Be warned, my fury once unleashed cannot be contained. This is your last chance. Flee with your life.
It pauses for a brief second. Seriously, man, I'm just trying to sleep off this hangar. Can you kindly fuck off? Fine. Fine! Take this and leave me alone. And next to the coffin pops up a shovel from the ground. Yeah, I think you double click to get the shovel. It is very windy. As you pick up the shovel, Alana, you see Gregorius weakly give you the Kenku thumbs up, which is a single like thumb feather up in the air, and it trembles slightly in the wind before he peels his mask off his face and violently retches back into the coffin. Celine, what about you? Michael Joseph Bertrand, are you paying motherfucking attention? I will not ask you again. If I have to ask you for the 5th time, I will remove Celine and you can watch others play D&D. What is Celine doing? No, you're all good. Yeah. What direction are you going in particular? You see that Verlori has gone south. You see that Alana is comforting a very sick Gregorius. Slabo is now encroached upon Biddy's space, unfortunately. Because Biddy's like head height right to a crotch goblin. Or goblin crotch. And no, that's true. Okay, yeah, you go down that direction. As you make your way down, you bypass Verlori. In Verlori, as you were making your way down, you hear this rumor. I heard that Saloon used to be a pumpkin farmer. And as you're making your way down, you're like, I don't understand necessarily how that's fucking relevant. Oh, Saloon. Or I've heard some rumors, or I don't have all the details myself. But somebody named Saloon used to be a pumpkin farmer, and he's hiding amongst the crowd. I'm sure if you go talk to some of the other people, they might have a little bit of extra information. Yeah, there's some folks up in this general direction, and he points up and to the left, just under where Biddy is at, in this kind of back alleyway. I think they might have heard something. More than well. He tips his cap to you, and as he does so, you see the gleaming white skull of what appears to be a skeleton underneath. And he just puts his hat back on and saunters down an alleyway rather stiffly because he's got no fucking hits. And then I am multitasking as I do this. And this one is going to use pseudopod on And it misses. Coraline. Casper, you are welcome to go ahead and take your action turn. So that would be technically an improvised weapon. You would have to beat it in a. You would first off have to successfully grapple him. And no, he is not grappled. You have grabbed onto his tongue. You have not made a grapple. His tongue was wrapped around you. You have not successfully grappled him. There's a difference. You broke free from his grapple, but you have to actually make a grapple attack. Yep, go ahead and grapple him. It is, yes. It is. Armor spike! You tried to grapple yourself. I like how you failed to grapple yourself. Caster cannot give himself a hug. And let me see. He is going to contest it with strength. It's a tie. And specifically, per D&D rules, when it comes to a grapple is one of the few things that there's not a two, the offense goes the tie. It is purely a draw. So you are locked in a wrestling match, but you do not successfully grapple him on this turn. Neither of you are budging. Okay, go ahead and make another unarmed strike to literally tongue punch his throat box. Yeah, once again, you fucking hit him, and this poor mimic is like slobbering and foaming at the mouth as you are gripped on as tight as you can. It's your legs are off the ground, by the way. Like you're using him kind of like a seesaw, because as his tongue is like lashing you up and down, you're just bouncing off the ground and punching him on the top of the throat. Coraline, that brings us to you. This poor mimic looks like he's about to give up the ghost. You do miss with your. Oh, you hit. Never mind. As caster, you are desperately trying to grapple this mimic in order to use it as a makeshift sledgehammer. Coraline just points a finger at it and goes, "Die, please," and it just erupts in eldritch flames and turns into this kind of sticky, messy goo all over the ground. It fizzles out, runs into the cracks as the rain washes it away. You you look at him, and this tiny little dwarf child with a great axe that's almost as big as you is covered in mimic drool and viscous, and it's actually kind of disgusting. He looks horrifying. Stomping his foot. Biddy, you find yourself in front of a gravestone where a party goer is kind of scratching his head. You hear him sigh heavily to himself.
No, I misplaced me fucking shovel. Oh, I heard a rumor. You can maybe find one of the keys here. But I lost my shovel. There was some tiny little. And he looks behind you. That fucking freak with the stink! I dropped my shovel and ran. Well, it looks like I'm shit out of luck. I can't find that shovel. If you find a shovel, will you happen to let me know? I'd really like to get to the burning of the Gnome Festival. Oh, it's a yearly event. It's secret invite only. Rumor has it that you have to find 3 keys. And once you find 3 keys, then a gate somewhere in the city will let you unlock it and attend the secret. They burn a gnome in effigy, one of those little straw door things. It's kind of like a secret little tradition. This year, 3 of the keys are hidden around the city square. Unfortunately, I lost my shovel, so you won't happen to have a shovel on you. Well, if you find me a shovel, I'll be right here. Varlori, you, as you're wandering kind of in that general direction, you hear one of the other party goers talking about, I keep hearing whispers about needing a shovel, but I can't find one. Can I help you? There are 3 keys hidden throughout the square. It's said that Celulian knows where one is. Now, rumor has it, Celulian used to be a pumpkin farmer. But trying to figure out which one of these, and he gestures to this massive crowd covered in masks, all wandering around, trying to figure out which one of these is actually Celulian is a bit of a tall order. I don't know anything about that. I've just been looking for a shovel. But, and he points a little bit to your left. They might know something. No, you cannot jump the fence. You would have to go the long way. But he is pointing in kind of this general direction. Hang on. Yeah, this way first. As you make your way over, you hear another. Someone mentioned the pumpkin farmer knows where he is, but he's playing hide and seek. Point of inspiration for actually doing what a fucking paladin is supposed to do. Yes. Wow. Wow, this is the first time I've ever had a paladin actually paladin. Divine sense. The presence of strong evil registers on your sentence.
Where you're at, Varlori, nothing immediately in your general vicinity qualifies as undead, a fiend, or a celestial. But you're on the right track. You see that there's a lot of people dressed as undead. There's a lot of folks that are in Halloween getup and All Hallows Eve attire. And you have a sneaking suspicion that the way people are describing Sir Luan as he used to be a pumpkin farmer, they are speaking of him almost entirely in the past tense, as if he's not alive, or at least not around. I'm going to say, based off of your divine sense not getting anything, you're going to realize that there's nothing in that general area that matches the description. But you do see a forlorn looking young man that is just down across the fence from you. You do see him kind of standing, caressing a wine glass, um, standing next to one of the coffin decorations that is currently in the area. Standing. Oh, sure. Grave robbing. In the middle of a fucking parade. NPC cringes in Ashira. About this time, Castor and Coraline, you have made your way. 1 second. Come on, line. Motherfucking. There we go. You have both made your way back to the. 1 second. There we go. You have both made your way back to the relative middle of the map, next to Brioche. In fact, Brioche, what are you choosing to do? You have licked the inside of your pumpkin clean. Boy, that sounds like a really weird porno name. Watch me lick my pumpkin clean. You see Castor still raging, still mad at Coraline for ruining his fun, and she's kind of leading him by the hand as he stumpy stumps his little dwarvish feet covered in mimic goo. About this time, from the slumber that was forced upon her by one bypassing Slavo de Noblin, Esthera, you wake up conscious. You have a bit of a headache because Slavo knocked you out with their grotesque stench as they wafted in the breeze. But you sit kind of bolt upright in the middle of this parade that is going along. You see Biddy in front of you, and Biddy has the face and ears of one hammered Harangon. Um, and looking around, you see Coraline kind of pseudo dragging a very angry dwarf child down along the street. And you see this gnome paladin yelling at random partygoers from across fences and making his way there. Celine, you have made it the farthest south. As you're making your way down this corridor, you spot in front of you what appears to be a congregation. And they're all dressed relatively the same. And upon closer inspection, you see that it is what appears to be a whole bunch of people dressed as zombies. Yes. Yes, they are dressed as zombies. You can kind of just see them through the dim light that is cascading onto the street. There looks to be about 8 or 9 of them. Excuse me, sorry. Um, as you, as you approach them, you start thinking to yourself, wow, this makeup is really good. These outfits are quite impeccable. I wonder if perhaps maybe there's some local people who are amputees that are participating in the zombie look-alike contest. Oh God, maybe this is a whole pile of zombies. But interspersed within them are clearly some people who are trying to blend in. Do you approach this group of zombies? You're not entirely sure. Sure, I'll let you do a perception check. These are clearly humans. These are clearly people who are participating in the parade. The stench is just the goblin who is leaving smears all over the ground as she scoots back and forth. In fact, Michael, this is a display of art. This is the highest calling one could aspire to. And as a noble lady, you want to reward the patrons of such fine craftsmanship of these outfits. That you decide that you would like to go mingle with them. Yeah, go ahead and just run your happy little butt cheeks down right about there. As you get closer, you hear, I told you this was a horrible idea, but no. You put me on stilts with this horribly grotesque makeup, you cretin.
Shut up and act undead, you idiot. We need that key.
And it is at this moment, Celine, that you realize you are surrounded by zombies. At least most of them are zombies. And they all just turn and look at you as if lunch has arrived on a silver platter. While this is going on, does anybody see Celine charge in the direction of these zombies? Esthera, Biddy, you guys were kind of the closest to her position when she took off down. Did either of you guys notice this? Yeah, go ahead and roll a perception check. Yes, you do know Celine. Yeah. Yes, Biddy, you definitely see Celine book it down, stop kind of halfway, and then go, oh, this looks fucking fine, and then strides right in the middle of this group of characters that look like zombies. So, Biddy, you do see Celine. You can choose to meet up with Celine if you would like to. Let, let, Esther, you can go ahead and just sprint all the way down there if you want to. Ironically, so is Celine. Um, you get kind of in the vicinity of Celine, and about the time that you start going down that little alleyway, you see Celine stop in her tracks and turn around and look at you with the face of, I think I might have fucked up. And I am going to need both of you. Give me 1 second before I have you do this, because I got to select you and everybody else that qualifies. I need you. I need you. I need all of these. There we go. I need the two of you to roll initiative. Perfect. And I will wait for everybody else. That is intelligence, of which, Celine, you are not displaying a high degree of today. Initiative. Or you can just roll it from the combat screen. Oh, I just realized that I fucking. There we go. I left my coffee. I'm going to grab my coffee real fast. There we go. Okay. Oh me, oh my. The first the first zombie takes one look at you, Celine, and starts stumbling kind of in your general direction. And he is going to make his way down, target you. And as you turn around to face um Esthera, you get this zombie who just looks at you and goes and slams into your back. In 1 second. There's nothing as devastating as sassy Southern mama telling you it's all right, you did your best, and you just know. Oh, bless your heart, you're a fuck up. And this zombie just crams into the back of you, Celine. Why did it not do no damage? Why did you not do no damage, please? Give me 1 second. Oh, there it goes. It's just being slow. Yeah, and all of a sudden, you get punched upside the fucking face by this zombie as it's grasping at your shoulders, trying to bite into you. And that will be that zombie's turn. Celine, that brings us to you. I mean, yes, you can attempt to in order to disengage because you're not a rogue. It would be an action to disengage. So I don't know. Do you? Everybody else, while Asthera and Selene are fighting an army of zombies, what are you all doing? Yep. So in your features should be a option to disengage. You would click that. Um, Caster, this giant half orc hand reaches down full of pumpkin seeds in front of your face. What do you do? Okay. Yep. Now you can move. You have whatever your movement speed is. Michael, you cannot use an attack. Once again, because you're not a rogue, it takes an action to disengage. If you have a bonus action spell, sure, but I don't think you do. Okay. Esthera, you see Celine rocketing out of there with a horde of zombies kind of on her heels. But looking through some of the foliage, you also see that there's people dressed as party goers that are kind of in that vicinity, making AoE a little bit on the difficult side, trying not to wipe out those who are just in attendance of the party. Well, I mean, you can remind me. Whether or not I fucking remember is a different story. Michael, this is DM speak for fucking pick an option. Do you want me to kill them or buff you? Pick one. Fuck yeah. He's like, yeah. He gets turned into a squirrel. Nice. Give me 1 second. Well, No, you're the Gorilla God's go to girl for the rest of forever. Gorilla. Oh, giant. It's technically under giant ape in here. And give me 1 second. Transform. Anything else you want to do on your turn, Esthera? Nice. Bonus action, get fucked. I mean, you can. And both are concentration. Yep. Okay. Before I get to the rest of the zombies, Biddy, you make your way, stumbling, looking for the shovel, and you think you find it. Instead, it is just a very small bent spoon. But you convince yourself that this is what you're after until you realize that it's just a spoon. And as you keep making your way, you finally stumble across Alana and a relatively sick Gregorius who's just cleaning up the rest of the chunks. And in Alana's hands is a shovel. Your legs are very fine and muscular. You're currently wobbling in place and there's not a fucking breeze. Make a persuasion check at disadvantage because even though you feel normal, you are still hammered. Make an insight check, Alana. Insight. You look at this tiny little rabbit and you begrudgingly hand over this shovel. Yeah, Biddy, you just start dragging the shovel back up in the general direction. Gregorius decides to follow you. Um, Alana, do you choose to follow as well? As you guys get there, Biddy, the person who was looking for the shovel, is no longer there. In fact, you can't really see them. But in front of you is a bunch of gravestones. And gravestones generally mean valuables, and valuables generally mean foods. Do you choose to use the shovel? Okay, give me just 1 second while I am turbo multitasking. I am attacking with zombies. This one is yeah. So you hand the shovel back to back to Alana. And Alana, there is a grave right in front of you. Do you start digging? Okay. Give me just 1 second. As you start to dig, shovel buries into the earth and you start flinging it over your shoulder. Brioche, you see what is going on, and you can almost see the disaster happening as it unfolds. Um, Slavo, you're kind of in the same boat. You skid to a stop, literally, right as another shovelful of dirt flies over his shoulder. And as this happens, you hear this otherworldly scream, and three ghostly figures emerge from these gravestones, wailing like banshees. And I need everybody, un memento por favor, that is in this section. I need y'all to roll fucking initiatives. Oh, actually, never mind. Fuck it, we'll ball. Let me see where you are located. No, you are down with Varlori, and I'm actually going to move. No, that's fine. You and Varlori are going to be down in this section, which is where we're going to get to next. Um, while this is all going on, that ogre zombie has just finished attacking. That brings us to this zombie who is going to charge forward and keep punching at a grade A. Natural 20. I mean, to be fair, this great ape has got some ridiculous fucking health, so I think he's going to be fine. I need to remove this party goer. I need to remove this. There we go. Goes. Okay, everybody has caster. Will you roll initiative? No, you're all good. And then I will roll the other ones. And then I am going to start the next round entirely. In fact, that brings us Slavo. You get to go first. You see these three ghosts that appear, and they're encircling this key that has now floated up in between these gravestones. The key or the ghosts? Okay. There are three of them. They are conveniently where all the other. Yes, all three. Yes. Your answer to that question is yes. As the ghosts turn a sickly green hue. Unfortunately, so does Alana, who just loses her lunch all over, all over the pumpkin hat brioche that you have set on the ground. That brings us to one of the ghosts, who is going to float forward and target Biddy, and is going to multi attack with. That cat looks so fucking spoiled. You are so fucking lucky. I rolled two like really low attacks. The ghost tries to grasp onto you, Biddy, but your nimbleness combined with the fact that this ghost is sick as shit um, means that it misses. And that will be the end of its turn, which brings us to Biddy. Your tax has been paid, yes. Show puss tax. That's fine. Before you hold off on rolling your second attack real fast, I'm going to clear the chat log so that way it's not as laggy. Yes. Yes. Biddy, as you are punching um, this creature, this ghost, you're feeling like you're striking pretty solid, but it's almost as if your legs are moving through molasses, and they're not quite doing the full damage that you would suspect. And you realize that you're punching a fucking ghost, and so therefore they do have resistance to physical damage. But still, you do a fairly substantial amount of damage with with your feet. You get to make one more unarmed strike bonus action because your flurry of blows means you get to take two unarmed strikes as a bonus action. So you get to do one more bonus. You get to attack 4 times in a turn, basically, if you use flurry of blows. No, you hit with all 4. That brings us to one of the zombies that is going to charge ahead in the direction of Esthera. Celine, you are given the option to opportunity attack this zombie charging past you. No, you're pretty focused on where you're at. I'm about ready to tie into you guys to bring in kind of the last of this. So, very quickly, um, you do manage to hit the zombie. I don't know why it picked unarmed strike of all the things that you could choose to do instead of fist, because fist would have been way better, which would have been 3d10 plus 6. But you do hit the zombie. Because that was so ineffectual, I'm going to go ahead and take away. Give me 1 second. Oh, I didn't even use your action. Never mind. You're good. And he is going to attack Esthera with Slam. And this one is going to hit. And you do pass your concentration save. So Celine maintains their appearance. And that will be the end of that zombie's turn. Celine, that brings us to you. You're currently a giant hairy monkey. Direct Directly in front of you is a very large zombie ogre. Okay. You'll notice that as a monkey, you get multi attack, which means that you can do multi attack and then punch him twice. So Michael, once you hit multi attack, then you hit fist, and you just hit fist twice once each roll concludes. So you actually have to still punch him. Yeah, you hit him really hard the first time, and then you get to punch him again. Yeah, and you reach up with these two fucking Donkey Kong ass arms and just clap this ogre zombie upside the head at the same time, and you break a couple of bones pretty easily. But because he's undead, it doesn't really seem to phase him all that much. No, so because you are your monkey, you get to multi attack, and that allows you to attack twice. But that's the only way that you can attack twice. Perfect. Brioche, before we move into you, I'm gonna pan down real fast. Varlori and Coraline, you have found yourself standing in front of this sullen-looking young man who is caressing a wine glass, standing forlornly over a coffin. And as you are standing there, I'm gonna actually move you back a little bit, Varlori, just to make this easy on myself. Um, as you are standing there, he turns and looks at you and goes, "Might I help you?" He just looks at you and then looks at Coraline. Is he fucking retarded? He gestures to his perfectly manicured nails. Do I look like I've been digging graves? This is a decoration, dumbass. I cannot believe I signed up to be one of the riddle bearers. His ears perk up. How about you shut up? And he turns and looks at you. My lady, would you care to hear a riddle? Okay, so Coraline, this little arrow that you see that's in front of Valori, I need you to double click that for me. Here to participate in the night of all nights, All Hallows Eve, with the ghouls and the whites. A riddle have I, for the ones who still bleed. A reward I shall give, a king of three. Would you like to hear my riddle? Yes or no? Yeah. Excellent. Immortality's coin. I spent it dear. I bought forever, but sold the year. No dawn, no heartbeat, no doubt, no breath. Tell me, fledgling, what did I trade for death? Is the answer blood? Yes or no? If you would like to see all the options, then say no. Is the answer free will? Yes or no? Is the answer memory? You have three options. Is the answer blood? Is the answer free will? Is the answer memory? If I could advise you in one small area, think of this in the context of D&D, not in the context of a vampire. Like, think of it in the context of a D&D vampire, not just a vampire. The words vampire familiar meant nothing. So is the answer blood, free will, or memory? You two must decide amongst yourself. Well, not really. It's a riddle. Yeah, give me just 1 second because it's got to cycle through for a moment. And so is the answer free will? Yes. Ah, fortune smiles on you this night. Take my key, the gnome to light. A single thought with ink and quill. No power is worth the loss of will. And in front of you pops up a key that floats out. Give me 1 second while I move this. There we go. That pops out. And one of you can take the key. Sure, just double click it. Girl, fucking move. Perfect. You have earned yourself a key. And as you gain this key and you turn to thank the man, you see him disappear. You have gained one of three keys. Back to the initiative order, which, by the way, the two of you can choose to join a fight. You can either join Esthera and Celine, or you can help everybody that is currently upstairs fighting ghosts. Amelia has flashbacks of fighting ghosts. Sounds good. I will move you here and then move you up. I will add you both to the initiative order because we're relatively near the top. I'm going to have both of you roll initiative. Brioche, back to you. The ghost, the ghost looks at you and goes, I can't fucking eat. And so, yeah, you have succeeded in pissing off the ghost. Okay, Brioche, what do you choose to do for your combat then? Fireside Ballad. That might have been important. So this is if Slabo and his stink could be composed into music, Brioche is slaying it on this banjo. Yes, basically. You see both of the ghosts reflex, or all three of the ghosts reflexively cover their ears and just wail. That does bring us to one of the ghosts who is going to advance forward and attempt to shut up your fucking plane with multi attack, withering touch. These ghosts suck at combat, but they do manage to hit. Holy shit. You do you do pass your con saving throw, literally barely. You do, however, get grabbed again and feel some of your life energy be sucked out of you violently. This ghost be sucking violently. And then they are going to attempt to possess you. I can't tell if you passed or failed that charisma saving throw. I have no idea. Oh, there it goes. You passed. You do pass the charisma saving throw, which means that you can no longer be possessed for 24 hours. Well, to be fair, it is that ghost's possession, but for ease of access, it is going to be the full 24 hours. So you are not actually incapacitated. Let me remove that real fast because you passed. And that will be the end of that ghost's turns. Esthera, that brings us to you. You are currently being a little bit besieged by zombies, front and center. Did Jenny disconnect? Oh, no, you're all good. Hey, don't worry. The most useless paladin build you've ever seen in your entire life is here to be a meat shield. And he kind of sucks at that because he's got less hit points than you do. Howdy. However, one thing that he does provide is that you get Aura of Courage and Aura of Protection. Nice. I'm sure that it would have enjoyed that while it was alive. Well, shillelagh is specifically club or quarterstaff. Yes, but that is not specifically club or quarterstaff. Shillelagh only counts for a club or quarterstaff. I know this because playing Baron, I took shillelagh and then proceeded to have the only melee weapon I used was a dragon fang spear forever, and I couldn't shillelagh it, so I was stuck with a 1d6 -1 spear. You have a druidic focus. As far as I am aware, I don't think you actually had like a physical staff. Oh yeah, it's under equipment technically. If you want, I can give you a quarterstaff. Yeah, it would be under druidic focus is not an actual physical staff. Let me actually do this real fast. Un memento, por favor. You campaign. Let me. Well, because I haven't updated. Let me find your Mysthera. There you are. Your druidic focus. No, if you look at your D&D Beyond, your the only weapons quote unquote that you have is a dagger, a short bow, unarmed strike, and your claws technically, and breath weapon. But you do not actually have a quarterstaff or a staff. In your inventory is a druidic focus, but it is a focus. It is not a staff. Ooh, sure. Let me. Yeah, you should be able to go ahead and wither and bloom, and then place your template in turbo destroy. I love wither and bloom. It's such a fucking dope spell. It's so fucking cool. Yeah, you should be able to with your mouse wheel. No, you should just be able to scroll wheel, and it should auto rotate. Try it with shift then. Sometimes maybe the templates are a little bit weird. Jesus Christ. Oh, it accidentally cast it twice. That's fine. I'll allow it. I don't give a fuck. It's all good. Yes. because she's gonna heal you. You're in her range. Yes, it'd be one dice. It did, and he rolled max. It's gonna make him technically do it twice because it casts twice, but that's fine. Like I said, I don't give a damn. Yeah. So erupt this field of necrotic flowers, and as they go through the cracks in all of this cobblestone, they explode violently, and the flower petals center around Celine, and Celine, you get a restoral of your health. Yeah. Anything else you would like to do on your turn? Oh, she's got like 160 hit points. She's doing pretty solid. Okay, go ahead and end your turn whenever you want. That brings us to one of the zombies down below, who is going to rush forward and try to punch Celine. Slam, and they are going to miss. Alana, that brings us to you. Yes, currently. You would roll stealth at disadvantage because prior to what everybody who plays a rogue thinks, stealth is not invisibility. You are in light, surrounded by people who can see you. So it would be a disadvantage with a very high bar. You can totally try. I well, the thing is, it's like I'm not going to tell you no. You can totally backflip into the grave, but the idea that you'll be able to just avoid ghosts grabbing you is something I'm unwilling to guarantee. Sure, make make an acrobatics check for me. Unfortunately, the stench of Slavo is so overwhelmingly bad that you go to leap off the ground and hit the only rock, and you plow your face right into Slavo's slimy ass cheeks. As you are now like nose to cracking this goblin, you do not successfully backflip or flip anywhere other than into a goblin. It is only because it was not a natural note that you are not prone. But no, you stumble into the goblin and violently retch. How do I want to worm this so the DM doesn't take advantage of my situation? Yeah. First off, first off, before I'm gonna let you pickpocket absolutely, I want you to roll a blind percent die, and I'm not going to tell you what it's for. Please roll a percent die. Yep. Oh boy. Slavo, you feel a hand in your prison pocket. And it's rooting around there with some great interest. And it reminds you of family reunion time as a goblin. So, Alana, you're from nobility, and you feel your hand reaching into what you think is a pocket. And then the vice like grip of Slavo's ass cheeks pins your hand in there. And as Slavo pivots, your feet get kicked up off the ground, and you are now basically a goblin appendage. You are a tail. You are a blunt force weapon. Slavo, you have now gained what amounts to basically a third great sword attack a turn. But you must roll in order to make that check. You must roll a strength check of above 15 to keep your ass cheeks pinned together like blocks of granite. If you fail to do so, there will be a flying Alana. She is okay, so that's where we're at. There is another zombie that is going to smackety smack in the direction of Esthera. Most of these guys are pretty close to dead. Boonkumer, you have a reaction for protection. Go ahead. Yeah, you basically impose disadvantage, and it misses its attack. Also, he was protecting Esthera. It has nothing to do with Celine. That brings us to Gregorius. And Gregorius looks at like all the undead around him and he goes, like, internally, these are my people. My calling as a death domain cleric is to provide these souls passage. But instead, what all of you hear is, fuck off! And he is going to cast. Basically. And he is going to cast. Where are you? He is going to cast. Not what I wanted. I'm targeted on the wrong fucking thing. There we go. He's gonna cast spiritual weapon. This would be really fucking great if I could see where the fuck I was supposed to put this, except it didn't fucking collapse my fucking character sheet. See his character sheet? There we go. And he is gonna drop a spiritual weapon that hits the field. And the spiritual weapon slams down into the back of one of the ghosts. And second thing he's going to do is he's going to target Brioche and Healing Word. at 3rd level. There you go. You get a little bit of health. Now will be the end of his turn. Brings us to the ogre zombie that is attacking down below. And Celine, you have rather pissed it off. So he is going to continue to smack at you with a natural 20. And he is going to smack again. This time with a dirty 20. And that will be the end of his turn. One more zombie is going to attempt to invade. And break this concentration. And they are going to swing and miss. Caster. You are still a bit covered in slime. But as you are handed this pile of pumpkin seeds and food, Biddy rushes by with this shovel above her head and is not paying attention to where she goes. And the back of the shovel clips you in the head, and you launch your pumpkin seeds all over the ground. And you just are staring at them, scattered all over the cobblestones. DM, I would like to rage. Boosh! Suplex Biddy. This is John Cena. Bow, 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 bow. Yeah, go ahead. Toddler with a great axe. Who gets to attack? Who gets to attack multiple times a turn? Nope. Yeah, we are going to wrap up this fight and basically call it from here. Once you guys get all 3 keys. You have 1 key. 1 key is on the map that is surrounded by 3 ghosts. And one of those ghosts is going to advance forward. And they are going to target Biddy with multi-attack, Withering Touch. That's an oof. Oh, never mind. I rolled really low on damage. And for the second one, that's going to be a miss. And then it is going to attempt to possess you. Oh, you passed. As it is doing like this absorb fucking touch, for lack of a better phrase, this withering touch. This ghost is turning like the shade of alcohol. Like it's a slight amber brown. And that is going to end that ghost's turn. Coraline. That brings us to you. Oh, sorry. Let me point them out real fast. There is one here. There is one here. There's supposed to be fucking 3 of them. Hang on. Let me find out where that one. Oh, these ones are stacked on top of each other. There's a ghost here and a ghost here. So these 2 are in the same space, which they can occupy because they're incorporeal. So there's 2 in this section and 1 engaged with brioche. One's outlined in red, one's outlined in green. The one that's outlined in green is generally, if you, well, well, yes. So Alana, who is here, is your ally. So if it is green, it is an ally. If they're red, they are not. They are an enemy. Yep, absolutely. Eldritch Blast. Yeah, you hit one of the ghosts and smack it with an Eldritch Beam, and then you hit that same ghost again. And this ghost is starting to disapparate. It's starting to fade in and out of reality. Okay. Perfect. And that brings us to the final zombie in this little list down here, who is going to also rush up and keep attacking Celine. And they're going to miss. And that brings us back to the top of the round, Slavo. Christ almighty, man. You know, every time we play with the backup characters, I'm always like, really for the most part, things can't possibly get worse. And then somehow, always with the mercs, it gets worse. Slavo is no longer their characteristic shit brown. There's a hint of a blush in those cheeks. You miss with your first one. You connect with your second. Please make a strength saving throw, or a strength check, I should say. It has to be above a 15. That is a natural note, Alana. You feel your body get whiplashed by thighs of steel, and then all of a sudden, release. And you are flying through the air horizontally. I need you to roll a d4. 1 is north, 2 is south, 3 is east, 4 is west. North, you plow right into Brioche, going Mach 2. I need both of you to roll 2d6. Alana, you take 10 points of damage. Somehow, Brioche, you only take 2, as you both get pushed violently 10 feet the opposite direction. However, this does have the maybe added benefit of getting you out of the range of Slabo. So, let me adjust your health values real fast. -2. And Alana, you are no longer entrapped by ass cheeks. Slavo, anything else you want to do on your turn? Okay. Boone Coomer. You hear him say this is Thera, and then the absolute tiniest fucking like ball peen hammer appears in the hand of this fucking gnome because he has a strength of -8 as a fucking paladin, and he's struggling to lift it above his knees. But yes, Varlori, you are good to do whatever you would like. Okay. Yep. That is a natural note. As Varlori, your brand new hammer, your brand new maul, your most prized possession since you got the last one stuck in a wall, flies out of your hands and goes whistling into the night, and you hear this distant clink. He threw a maul through my fucking window! And you have now lost your maul for the second fucking time. No, it wouldn't have any. It wouldn't have any. It wouldn't have any bearing on disadvantage. Yeah, you can have. You can totally start punching. Natural fucking 20. Okay. What's funny? What's so funny about all of this is that you're not 20 because an unarmed strength is 1 plus your strength mod is a 0. I will still take the shot. You do no damage because -1 plus 1 doubled is still fucking 0. Shot. Okay. You bless your middle finger and get to fucking. Nice. And it is blinded. And not only is it blinded, it's deleted off the face of the earth. So you throw your Esthera, you see this tiny gnome throw his maul through a window, basically love tap a zombie who just looks at him confusedly, and then it erupts in divine flames. Anything else, Boone Coomer, that you would like to do on your turn? Perfect. Excellent. That brings us to a ghost. One of the ghosts who is going to advance forward. You do have an opportunity attack available, caster. Which you natural fucking 20. Actually, I really appreciate you hitting it because it was invisible on my side, and when you hit it, the image of the token popped back up, which was really nice. And this ghost is going to target Betty and is going to multi-attack Withering Touch. Second one's a 3 and it misses. And this one, knowing that it can no longer possess you, is going to attempt, to the best of its ability, to horrify both Castor and Biddy with horrific visage. And both of you fail. Both of you are scared of this ghost. And you take a little bit of psychic damage, and then you have the frightened condition to the start of the ghost's next turn. So you are both terrified of this particular ghost that is directly above you. I don't know why it keeps applying this fucker. Oh, it's because it's two different things. That's fine. But yeah, both of you are scared of the top one, and you must spend your turn getting as far away from that ghost as possible before you do anything else. And that's going to end that. I was literally going to say that the horrific visage was having to be forced to attend AA meetings. Become the president of Alcoholics Anonymous. Betty, in fact, that brings us to you. Yeah, the reason why you have unclean, by the way, Slavo, is because even though it's an item pile, it counts it as a token. You would take suffocation damage, yes. When you enter an occupied square, even though they are incorporeal, you would still take a level of damage for forcing your way through. They are about the size of a standard human, between 5 to 6 feet. I can hear the snuggle boy jingling through the microphone. Okay, so the rock in the hard place is I would totally normally allow this, but the frightened conditions means that you cannot move in any closer to the ghost than you currently are. So even if you were to rabbit hop over them, that is still you technically getting closer to them by crossing over their threatened square. So you can totally. Oh yes, yes, that is correct. My apologies. Yes, that's fine. You can rabbit hop. And while you are doing that, I am going to clear the chat log. 20 feet. It's like 45 or some shit. It's 50. Your speed is 50. Yeah. No, you abandon your post, as it were, and you cover your floppy ears down over your eyes and just hide in the foliage. At the end of your turn, you can attempt to make a a I believe it's a wisdom charisma. Hang on, let me double check. Not ghost. Well, yes, ghost. It is a wisdom saving throw. It is a DC 13. Oh, it's because I was updating all this stuff. Hang on. Give me 2 seconds. Do, 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 do. There you go. Now it's a nope. Ooh, rough. Yeah. That brings us to one of the zombies down below. The one that's in front of Esthera. And because it has watched you incinerate one of his buddies, Verlori, it is going to turn its attention to you and attempt to slam down with a fucking 3 to hit, and it's gonna miss. Celine, that brings us to you. Sounds good. Yep, and then you punch it twice. First one will roll, and it hits. Nice. Second one will hit. And yeah, you bring both ape fists down on this ogre zombie, and it kind of collapses into this disgusting heap of moldy flesh and rotting limbs. You cannot kill the little one next to you. Sounds good. Brioche, your most recent experience has been Alana flying through the air and colliding with the side of your head. It has cleared the fog substantially, mainly because you're no longer downwind of Slavo. Um, what would you like to do? Hi. That's honestly kind of funny. Here, I got you. You were up here, top left corner. Tentacles. Who here a squid? The ghost passed its wisdom saving throw. That brings us to Le Ghost. who is going to, against its better judgment, target Slavo with multi-attack. It will miss the first one. It will miss the second one. And in absolute desperation, it will try to possess. How the fuck does Slavo pass a charisma check? How's that even possible? It is like a force field of ass around Slavo. And that will end that ghost's turn in frustration. Esthera, that brings us to you. For the most part, everybody's actually doing pretty okay. Nice. Oh, fucking love it. One does pass its con saving throw, kind of barely. Sounds good. Hey, Slavo, do you know why it's making you roll Constitution saving throws for this fucking zombie? Yeah, neither do I. Yeah, both zombies fucking bite the dust. Yeah, both of them bite the dust. She, I believe, is at. No, it did not proc a heal for her. I don't think she was in the range when it went off. Let me see. The choice in that area. It didn't. It didn't have her targeted. It only had the two zombies targeted. Well, if it, her hitbox starts way down here. It, I did it pop up a save for you at all, Michael? Because it should have proc the save first. I don't show that she took either damage or was targeted the in the kaboom. I will just manually add. It's all good. I'll just manually add the 8. I'm happy to do it. As if, to be fair, as if Celine is in danger of dying with 138 hit points. This is the best she's ever felt. She's a giant ape. She is basically like a dire gorilla, for lack of a better phrase. Anything else you want to do on your turn? Perfect. That brings us to the last zombie that I can see on the list, who is going to try to run away. And so they are going to stumble this direction and attempts to leave. That should have prompted a attack of opportunity. Celine, this zombie, you are welcome to target and smack with your fist. I don't know why it didn't proc. It wouldn't be a multi-attack. It would just be one single punch because it's an attack of opportunity, which you hit. Which absolutely turbo wipes this zombie off the face of the planet. So I guess that ends its turn. It doesn't even get to finish its movement. Alana. Yes, your hand is sticky and slimy and smelly, and it's kind of awful. You know, because you are an air ganassi, you're feeling a little winded at the current moment. I'll allow it. If you roll a natural 20, I will allow it. Yeah. The, so so Alana, with a natural one, as you bring your hand up to gesticulate your response, you catch a whiff of Slavo ass crack. And there's something about it that's like, maybe just a little spicy and you kind of like it. You're a bit of a closet freak. And you turn and look in the direction of Slavo. And you make the conscious decision that if you can't beat him, join him. So so you decide that you'd like to become intimately acquainted with that prison pocket. I need you to make a grapple attempt to tackle Slavo into the grave. We are going to be wrapping this up rather soon, um, as the event is starting. That's all good. Is right here. Joey, you do have a contending dialogue real fast of how you want to contend this grapple. You, Alana, you sprint towards Slavo, who welcomes you with open arms. And as you dive to tackle him into the grave, you headbutt Slavo and pass out. As Slavo beats your contested grapple by sheer will. you are technically here. You are only knocked out for a brief second. It is not enough to keep you permanently out, but you knock yourself unconscious for about 2 or 3 seconds, and then you stand up kind of woozy, and Slavo is just standing there. That does bring us to Gregorius, who is going to, let me see. Gregorius. He is going to target this one up above. He's going to cast Ray of Sickness at 4th level. Unfortunately, the ghost does pass his fucking concentration throw, or his constitution save. And that'll be the end of Gregorius. Caster! You are terrified of this one. You must do everything in your power to get away from this one as fast as possible. Because there's a fence. Mayhaps. Yep. Okay, you cannot. I mean, you can target the one that you are frightened of. You will roll at disadvantage. Attacks and actions, while it is within line of sight, are at disadvantage. I mean, still, your strength score is probably enough to turbo punt this thing. Reckless. Yeah, you definitely hit it. You chuck a hand axe. Yeah, you hit with the second. Perfect. We are just about wrapped up, guys. The zombies are basically down for the count. There is technically one left remaining. This ghost is, however, going to bum rush Gregorius and attempt to wither. They rolled a 2. This one rolls 4. Coraline, that brings us to you. Yes. Right here. First bolt hits. Your second bolt hits, and that ghost fades with an ethereal scream. That brings us to this last fucking zombie that is in front of Celine, and it is going to punch once again at Celine. And it is going to fucking miss because it rolled a 4. Go, Ghost. Slavo. Is Joey gone? Yeah, I mean, you can target either this one to the right or this one down below. I am going to move the dead token out of the way. Yep, you get 2 attacks. That'll hit. That one will miss. Booncomer, that will bring us to you. No worries. Yep, I got it. Channel Divinity. No, it should be under your. Give me 1 second. When you did your channel divinity, it should have popped up. Yes, you needed it. It will rolled a 9 on its mini save. Um, um, let's see. Well, normally it pops up if you use a when you use that skill, it automatically pops up. Oh no, the first one, the first mini save that you made was for control undead. It is under your control. It failed its save. You you cannot issue a command for a creature to kill themselves. Like you can't say things like fall on your sword. You can give it a command, but you cannot tell it to kill itself. Okay. And it tries to do so, which means that Celine, you will get an attack of opportunity against that that fleeing zombie. Yep. You can go ahead and smack it. You were not targeted on. You're good. It's still going to end up hitting, and it is still going to absolutely turbo destroy it. Your blinding smite is attached to generally a melee action, so you would have to be within melee reach of something. So blinding smite is a bonus action. So Yes, that is technically a class feature unless it says action, which I believe it does. Your channel divinity is an action. Yep. Okay. You can go ahead and dash and move another 25 feet. Yes, that would be all that you have available. Okay, that brings us to the ghost. That is up here, and it is going to move down. Slava, you do have an opportunity attack. You do miss. As the ghost continues to move forward, and it is going to target Coraline with a withering touch. It does hit with the first one. There we go. And it is going to. Is it popping up reactions for you, Oki? Yeah. That's why I was taking it a moment. Yeah, you just hellish rebuke him into fucking oblivion as this ghost hits you, and then you just snap your fingers and it goes up in flames, which is the end of that ghost's turn. Biddy, that ghost is dead. You are no longer frightened because that ghost is dead. There's Unt remaining. Okay. No, that's Alana, who is currently unclean due to Slavo. Unfortunately, you're also unclean again. Slavo's stench is omnipresent. And you do hit. Second or third one does miss. Fourth one does miss. Oh no, fourth one hits. Just barely. Celine, in your ape form, you see kind of standing in front of a pumpkin, a zombie who has made no move to attack you or be violent, and he is aggressively caressing a pumpkin. What do you do? Okay. Make a Make an attack roll. Just don't target the zombie. Just roll an attack to smash a pumpkin. You don't have to. I'm just going based off of what you told me that you were going to do. Well, I don't know why it keeps prompting various people of the fucking party to make Constitution saves instead of this fucking zombie. Hit the zombie again, please. Yeah. Okay. It dies. As it does, this pumpkin that the zombie was caressing explodes violently. And you hear, my pumpkin! As a key falls out. Okay, go ahead and end your turn, Celine, whenever you're ready. Brioche, it is all up to you. Cloud of daggers. You know what's funny? I just updated that today for you. Well, one is a lot of. This one is a lot of. I find it funny. Okay. Go ahead and end your turn whenever you want because the ghost's turn is next and it's gonna die. Mayhaps. It is in the range. There it goes. And Brioche, you have an opportunity attack. The luck of the gods is with you. We're fucking late. You kill it. Nice job. And Well, yeah. And then let me end this real fucking fast. And combat encounter as all of this stuff goes away slowly but surely. And as a key pops up, you remember the words of the pumpkin that the jack-o'-lantern that you spoke to earlier. You must choose one person to be the key bearer. Coraline, because you have the first key, you are now chosen as the key bearer. Will you please pick up both Ghost's Regret and down below in front of an ape that I now have to unshift. Give me 1 second while I... Yeah, well, the pumpkin farmer just got obliterated by Celine as an ape. Like, there was so many opportunities. As the night's festivities wrap up, if I could have everybody please gather in this corner. Oh, you're fine. You're totally fine. There's just a funny bit of dialogue that involves Ashira that I worked very hard on. No, bottom right. Yes, of course the door is locked. It requires 3 fucking keys. I'm fixing Slabo. Slabo, stop! Lord have mercy. I would like Coraline. I don't know why there was a blinding smite needed in that fucking moment, but there was. No, there's 3 fucking, like, stop! Everybody stop! Pause! There's 3 fucking keys for me! Anyways, Coraline, will you please right-click the lock on that door and put your 3 keys in? Oh, yep. Yep. Right-click the door, and it should pop up a little dialog box. Open up your inventory and drag them in. Before everybody rushes in here, Coraline, as the keeper of the key, I need you to just move to right about there first. Everybody else stay behind the gate. Go ahead. Go to right about here. The gate's open. The time is upon us, brethren. In years past we have languished under the yoke of gnome tomfoolery. Our only solace gleaned from the sacred tradition of burning a gnome effigy every Hallows Eve. This year, all that changes. We strike a blow for peace and tranquility. This year, we burn a real gnome. But this ain't a burning. It's a cauldron, and shh, let him cook. As I was saying, with this, our glorious retribution will be realized in full. Any final words to say, you kleptomaniac sacrifice? Ashira, if you would. Commence the ritual! I still think we should be burning the... Shut up and start chanting. And Ashira, they start chanting. And as they chant, yes, it interrupts their casting so much that they mispronounce one of the words. And instead of you being burned alive, you instead disappear. You know what this was supposed to be? And then I realized something inevitably, as I always do. I was really looking forward to sicking a master vampire on all your guys' asses. But we are out of time, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We are going to go to Haunted World. Happy fucking Halloween from us here. And we will see you guys in a couple of weeks' time where we play Choke the Turkey. Happy Thanksgiving. One shot. Anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will see you guys next time. Have a fun and safe Halloween for those that are participating.